He said live.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning,
It's been
everybody.
a while. Out of
We're off
practice.
to a good start.
How's everyone doing today? My name is Bronner, and I'm here with the Carolinas Television, and I'm here to bring you the world of love and hope and faith and courage and strength, and above all else, Pokemon. Think about it. And I'm here with some very, very fabulous, fabulous looking people. Look at the bottom row alone. It's enough for price of admission.
Right?
Look at these beautiful people. I miss them so much. They are my co-hosts,
Why
and
didn't I dress up?
you're beautiful over there too, baby. But let me finish sucking up first. Come on. Um, but these are like my two favorite people, and they've really filled in when they could, when they can, when they did, and I really appreciate them for that. I don't know if everyone knows, but I've been kind of in and out of medical situation, so yeah, it's good to be back. This is my second show since in like 2 months probably. I don't even know,
It's
but
been a whirlwind. It's
it
been kind
has
of a
been.
roller coaster, emotions and things going on. But
Yeah, but as
we'll be
always,
here.
I have my
Oh, yeah, the Calvino. So
my faithful,
got excited.
beautiful, loving wife of mine across from me who's just taken unbelievable care of me, and she's amazing. I just have amazing. I'm surrounded by amazing people, so go me.
Woohoo!
All
Team
right.
up.
So, and thinking about this, okay. So what made me think about this episode was I was watching.
It was me. Don't even try to play it up. It was me. I threw the idea out there and he poo pooed it. And then all of a sudden he was like, "We're talking about Pokemon." And I'm like,
No,
"Oh, okay."
no. But honestly, I was watching this thing called um, the Midas Touch, the Golden Touch, or whatever. It's a collectible show on Netflix, um, and it
Just Calvino says if you die, he's gonna kill
okay.
you.
Thank you, Calvino.
Yeah,
Hi,
that's true.
Calvino.
You're banned from dying. You're not allowed to.
All right. Well, anyway, so I'm watching this show and I'm going, okay, what are these fucking people doing, right? And they're sitting there and they're opening 1991 boxes of Pokemon cards, and they're opening the entire box. Like I guess that's a thing, right? They open boxes on the air and to see what they pull and whatnot, right?
Yeah, you gotta find a winner.
Well, this one they were looking for. Um, it was a Pikachu trainer card, and it was, I want to say it was worth like $117,000 for a piece of cardboard.
Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
probably have one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, $117,000 for and Paul
And
Logan had it in like a, I don't know, like $1 billion glass, I mean, diamond jeweled casing around his neck, right? So, and those
Jeez.
boxes cost like probably $400 a box or whatever. And the more they open, obviously, the better chances you have of opening something valuable, because obviously,
odds
the
increase,
odds
right?
increase as you go through their inventory kind of stuff. But yeah, the show is fascinating. So I thought, collectibles, and
And we all collect Pokemon.
we got into Pokemon probably not
About 2 years. Well,
probably not as long as a lot of people have.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's preface that because there's different levels of Pokemon.
yeah.
I've enjoyed Pokemon since like the original show, the Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Like I've enjoyed it. Him,
Same.
not so much. He doesn't even like the movie, but he likes Pokemon Go.
I fell asleep during the movie.
Now, when you say the movie, which movie?
The original.
The Mewtwo one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
super
so bad.
boring. It was so boring. I mean, it was.
Did you say it was bad, Nick?
Yeah, oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you? It's not bad.
Okay.
No, it was pretty bad.
It's genius. It has
You're talking about the
new-
one where like
new
Ash literally
Pikachu?
turns to stone and then Pikachu's tears turn him back, like bring him back
Yeah.
to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was not good.
Hey, well, who made you the damn expert? Nobody.
Detective
But-
Pikachu was alright though.
Detective Pikachu is adorable.
I've yet to see that one.
We watched it together.
I've yet to see that one. I fall asleep during a lot of the movies. So in any case, so today is kind of like a reintroduction, like reintroducing myself into the
You read,
stream
Sean.
system. And I just want to
Whoa.
wow, that's the dogs.
That's a dog.
I just wanted to say that yeah, Pikachu is not my favorite. So if we can go around and kind of go through, like, I mean, obviously there's some obvious favorites in the group. Okay, hold on.
No, you
She's
keep
got-
talking because you're very good at it.
Oh, that felt kind of like a slam. Did
I
that
think she
feel
meant
like
it as a
slam?
compliment.
You think so?
Yeah, she said you're good at it, right? If she meant you're just long-winded and uninteresting, she would have said that you're bad at it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've been doing a whole lot of like watching of shows since I haven't been able to be doing a whole lot of anything else. So there's some really great stuff out there that is just ripe for the taking.
Yeah. Did you?
But-
So when you say you've been watching a lot of shows, have you watched any of like the Pokemon anime or any of that?
No, I didn't watch any Pokemon anime. No, I watched.
You never watched the show ever?
I watched maybe a couple episodes, but I've been watching like some other stuff like One Piece. I was watching some of that and some Demon Slayer. I had to increase the breadth and depth of my knowledge in anime because most of my friends like anime a whole lot more than I like anime, and I want to know why, and including my son and stuff. I mean, they just like, I don't know why.
Back up a little bit.
Okay, I'm back.
He's like really talking to you. He's like really.
Wow, I miss them.
I know.
Anime was it was my jam back in like the 90s when there's like all these fantastic shows came out, like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Neon Genesis Evangelion. There's like so much cool stuff. And then it kind of cooled off for a while. Like the early 2000s was kind of just this like gap of recycled ideas and like it was kind of like the same story over and over again. And I kind of swore anime off for a while, but then recently I've been dragged into some newer stuff that's actually like really good. So totally worth it. It is a redeemed franchise.
Do we consider Pokemon anime?
Oh yeah.
Pokemon anime. Yeah.
I do, but
Yeah.
a lot of like anime fanatics do not. So
Well, I mean, it
Why
started as a video
why
game.
are we air quoting?
we're air quoting because I'm not exactly sure if Pokemon falls in the category. So we're air quoting.
I see.
I would say that the Pokemon anime most certainly does because it's a cartoon series made in Japan, originally animated in Japan, and then I mean it was spawned from a video game franchise, but it became just such a huge like multimedia enterprise that to call it just one thing. I mean, it's Pokemon, like
Yeah.
it's kind of like Disney where it's like there's films and then there's also like video games and toys, and there was a whole store for a while. I think those might have shut down though.
Oh, really? Like this sound
Mhm.
racist or what?
What? What?
Was it something race induced or what?
No, I just think maybe
Like
it's just the one near
popularity
me,
fell
but the
off.
Disney store closed up. But anyway, back to Pokemon. I mean, it just has such an enduring appeal because I think there's something about these characters, the way that they're designed, like most of them at least, are so cool and cute, or they're like really like kind of awesome in their design and like that fantasy of wanting to have this thing that you can like develop a bond with, that like it can be like your loyal friend, and then you go out and you kick ass with it. There's something about that that's just really fun. um, it's a neat concept.
It's
It
like as
sometimes
a
gets
kid,
equated. Oh yeah.
you look and you're like, man, that pet's on steroids. Like that pet has magical powers. It can do stuff. And then you look at your dog and you're like, why can't you shoot vines out of your
Right?
back? You know? And it fulfills that as a kid, that imagination of, wanting that cool stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of like diversity of design, especially in the earlier generations. That some of the later generations get some criticism for kind of like
Hmm.
recycling ideas or not
Yes.
having as much quality put into their design.
It's
There are
great that
still
you call
some
them
newer
about.
ones that look really good, but it is what it is. But there's so much that you can have. You can create this team of a bunch of different monsters that look all different and they do different things, and you have to balance your team to make sure that your typing is right. And with Pokemon Go, I mean, you kind of instead you're doing sort of the opposite, where you're building a team that is kind of one type to just like destroy when you go out on raids. But I don't know,
Well,
it's
not
nifty, interesting.
necessarily. I mean, you have different teams depending on what you're battling. You put different stuff. If you're actually playing it correctly, like there are those that just kind of beef up whatever they have and just send out the most powerful. But I think, and I'll go out on a limb here to say that I think Pokemon, and I don't know the correct term for this, was probably one of the founding games of having those class types. Grass beats water, water beats fire, fire beats grass, and if you look now, like on mobile games, there's a lot that follow that archetype that I would say Pokemon Go started. And there's, if you're really truly playing it, there is some mental fortitude involved in putting these things together.
Yeah.
Nice.
Especially like in the mainline games, if you get into, and I know I was telling you guys a little bit about this beforehand, but when you get into the nitty gritty of how to make the best Pokemon ever, it's actually like pretty complicated. Like you get to sit down and do the math. You have to first you have to breed them so that they naturally have the best stats and best nature they could possibly have. So then once you have that, then you can go ahead and you have to do something. You have to accumulate effort values or effort points or whatever it's called. And to do that, it actually has to do with what you have the Pokemon fight. So like every time, it's kind of like you are what you eat a little bit, except in this case it's fighting. So like if I want my Charmander to like develop its special attack stats so that it hits harder with its flame breath attacks and all that, I have to go and attack Pokemon that will specifically increase that stat, because each thing also has an effort point that it gives off to other things. So most people who don't know about this are playing Pokemon in a way that would not get them the ideal party ever. So you can really really get into the calculus of this, and a lot of people do in the competitive scene. Like having
Hmm.
your Pokemon be perfect is the entire end all be all of that, or you can just play it for fun like a normal person.
Yep.
I have phases. I have phases where like I want to create and put effort in and, move pieces around like a chessboard. And then I have phases where I'm just like, let's do something. Just kill some time. Just depends on what my brain wants.
It is an excellent way to kill time, especially
Hold on,
Pokemon
I'll be right
breeding,
back.
because you're literally like you're going through and there's like random chance that every time you breed it, it's going to have the stats that you want. And then like, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty because we would be here all day talking about that. But it's just like you have to keep hatching these eggs until you get the right one. It's kind of like a lottery, but you kind of rig the stakes. Like you set the variables in that are favorable to you.
Right.
It's weird.
You put the pieces in place and then you pray.
Yeah.
You pray.
I think our chocolate lab Pokemon needs to go outside, so I'll be right back.
Oh boy.
My black lab Pokemon had to come inside. He reminds me of like a Psyduck. Like he's very stupid. Yes,
Your dog is like a Psyduck. That
he's
is
like a
interesting.
Psyduck.
Yeah.
He's just very.
That's cool. My hound
Yes,
dog right over
Yes,
here,
he
Charlie,
is.
is definitely a Houndoom. He looks kind of like one and he acts kind of like one. You like that's the devil dog if you're
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah. That's right. You play Pokemon Go, so you're gonna know a bunch of things that aren't just the first generation.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what you find. There's a lot of people who have only played like the red or blue games, and that's like all they know of Pokemon. Then they see all these newfangled things, and they're like, "What the hell is that? Like, that's not a Pokemon."
Oh yeah. No.
So I think that's the neat thing about Pokemon, though, is that you have such like you can pick a Pokemon based on your mood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just so many different iterations of different Pokemon that man, you can be like, oh man, I feel very like
I feel like
Snorlaxy today, but I feel like very Togepi, today or whatever. It really
That's my
just
favorite.
depends on your mood. Yeah, I said that on purpose.
Togepi's my favorite.
I want to know what would be a feeling that would be Togepi. Like, I feel like I'm a
Very cute.
egg.
Togepi's a very cute. Like I'm feeling cute today.
I don't know if you went outside and you're wearing like an egg suit,
Look at this. No,
like you would
just
feel very
very cute.
Togepi.
But
As one does.
but a secret
Of course.
badass. Like you're super cute on the surface, but deep down you're like a badass.
And in Pokemon Go, especially, its final form is it Togekiss? I think is the
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Is really good.
Kick ass.
That's one of his favorites
Really
to
fucking
battle
good.
with. So
He's a good battler. I'm just saying, man. Was it Glazering Gene?
dazzling gleam.
Dazzling Gleam.
Got it.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was the super like swirly marks.
Swirly mark.
Yeah, that's fun.
So my favorites, Togepi. Bronner. We know what yours is. What's your favorite? We didn't say it on air. You gotta say it on air.
Oh, I said Lucario.
Oh, did you? While I was doing
We didn't ask Jacqueline what her favorite is, though. I wonder.
Can anyone guess?
I don't know. Could it be the Growlithe?
Yep.
Is it simply that version of it, or is it both versions?
like
So it's been like Growlithe is like my super duper favorite, but Arcanine by extension I also really like. But when I was playing the game, I would wait to evolve that Growlithe as long as I could. Like I
Right.
would take that Growlithe through the Elite Four
like
before evolving it. I loved it so much. But now that I don't know, over time I've come to love Arcanine similarly to Growlithe, but still not quite.
Arcanine's awesome. It's
Yeah,
such a
it
good
is. I love
Pokemon.
Arcanine too. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And he's a badass fighter too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very strong. He's versatile. There's a lot of great things about Arcanine. So
what about the other form, the Hisuian form?
it's good. I mean, it's not as
It's
good
not
as
the
the
same,
original,
right?
but I also feel like I was really worried when I heard that they were doing that. I was like, no, don't ruin my favorite. But it came out all right. So
I mean, it's not bad.
yeah, it could be way worse. Could be
It
way
could
worse.
be.
That's true. So Arcanine has such a cool looking design to begin with, right? And so if they played it too safe, that would also be disappointing. If they had made it like so close to the original
basic.
design, like with Growlithe and Arcanine, then that would be pretty boring. So I like that they kind of reinterpreted a little bit, like with the kind of sheepdog eyes on the Growlithe, where the hair is
Mhm.
kind of growing over them.
Yeah.
And the Arcanine looks neat. I think the Hisuian ones are very cool.
I do too. I like the other forms, and I don't know, it's different. It kind of gives you something new on something classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a
Okay,
really nice way to look at it.
so like along those same lines, um, like who are your favorite like later iterations of Pokemon? Like do you have something that sticks out in your mind or?
I know Nick
Yeah.
has.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say like I think both my favorite and my favorite from a later generation would have to be Rockruff. And I used to be like a Gen 1 purist. Like I was like, oh man, nothing can beat the designs of the originals. That was the best. Those are the best days. And they kind of were. But Rockruff is adorable. It's this
Mm.
like cute little rock puppy, very cute. It can evolve into 3 different versions of the same Pokemon, kind of different. It's named Lycanroc no matter what. But it either becomes like a big wolf or a werewolf or
Mm-hmm.
kind of a compromised wolf with hair that stands up on his back. Um, and all of its evolutions, I think, are cool.
Oh yeah,
Big fan.
absolutely.
Yes.
Calvino asks, "What are your thoughts on the legendary dogs?"
Ooh, they're cool. They're fun. Like I
Yeah.
remember when I played Pokemon Gold back when it came out, and my first time encountering it was Suicune in the wild. I was like had like almost like a heart attack as like a however old kid I was. I was just like, oh my god, like what the heck did I just encounter? And it was just so cool. And I think they're fun designs. They have a fun way to try to catch them.
Yeah.
I like them. And I see there's one
I
in the chat for Growlithe too. Yay.
I will
Mm-hmm.
say when I first saw the legendary dogs, I really loved Entei
Yeah.
because it looked like a Chewbacca on all fours to me, and I was like, that's so cool. I didn't quite understand like 2 of them. I didn't really understand that one, and Raikou didn't look like dogs to me. Raikou especially looked like a cat,
Yeah.
but I
A
liked
big cat,
them.
like tiger.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like a saber-toothed tiger, but I like them a lot. I think they're super cool, very
Hmm.
fun. Um,
Yeah, I think Raikou's my favorite on that one. I like his mustache.
It is super cute. So did we learn about everyone else's favorite Pokemon already when I was out with our
I
buddy?
think so. Mine's Togepi.
Oh, Togepi. Mm-hmm.
I'm never evolving it. I have it. I'm never evolving.
dude, oh my gosh, it's so good though.
It is. I have one that is evolved, but I
Okay.
have one that's my best buddy. I'm not evolving.
Oh yeah, like on Pokemon Go, I
That's
have a Growlithe that's my buddy, and I don't have the heart to change it out because
No.
I love
Yeah,
Growlithe. So many Growlithe candy now, it's not even funny. But
you have to have 10 different best buddies though.
oh yeah, no, I haven't done very
Let's
many of
not
the.
talk about that.
Yeah, I kind of
mechanics.
fell off the hog for a couple of years and then hopped back on it, and now I've kind of fallen back off of it again.
Yeah, we fell off the hog. It's just been crazy.
Yeah,
And I
sure.
think like for us, like that's one of the best things about the Pokemon Go,
Mm-hmm.
is that you know what, you can play it when you want to. You don't. There are certain things that you have to play daily for, but if you don't want to, you just pick it up when you want, and it's a time
Mhm.
killer, and you go out and spin and
Yeah, I mean, if you're just there to farm, then just farm. But if you're there to like grow your Pokemon and your library and get the worldwide experience that is Pokemon Go, then you can do that too. So it really does travel at multiple different speeds depending on where you're at in your life, I
yeah,
think.
depending on what you put into it, that's what you get out.
We started like probably 3 years ago. We had some friends of ours. Um, it's right when I first started, needing to get out there more and exercise and do that kind of stuff. And we had friends of ours, and they invited us out to go raiding with them. And I'm like,
Nice.
what is this? And so yeah, we started right then, and it
We
like
fell in love.
yeah, it was like
It-
100 miles an hour for like 3 years.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
for
No,
somebody like that's pretty much what got him into Pokemon. Like he doesn't have experience prior to this. Whereas like most Pokemon Go players play it because they like Pokemon. He plays it because he likes the game.
Mhm.
Well, and that was like when it first came out, it was just this huge sensation with mass
Mhm.
appeal, and like people who had never played Pokemon before, like parents who had, bought the stuff for their kids, all of a sudden they're playing it, and it became this huge phenomenon. It was also like for me probably one of the most exciting times in gaming where you could just go out and everybody was doing the same game with you. Like
Right.
I had only ever experienced that back when World of Warcraft was in this big heyday and like everybody was doing the WoW raids, and then it felt
We
like it
were.
happened again, only this time it was like healthier.
Outside.
Yeah, I think it did something amazing for the generation, and I think even though it's on a smaller scale, I think it still is doing that. And they're making updates and pissing people off and making some people happy, and you know,
There's some vicious people out there that really take it very seriously.
very.
Yeah.
Like the people that were just like crazy about like the whole distances between the spin stops and stuff like that, and the radius around the spin stops, and how that during COVID they made it easier for you to spin
And
because
social distance, yeah.
social distancing was a factor back then. But people are like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm disabled. This is part of my things that I do for fun. So stop spoiling my fun. And
Yeah.
there's people that were really, really up in arms about it, like
Very passionate
like
about it.
Reddit, like the Reddit, like what do you call it, Reddit threads and whatnot. Ooh, come on,
Ooh, I just thought about something.
not
So
nice people.
Niantic did something cool and different with the interactive maps. I unfortunately was too far into Pokemon to actually subject myself to. Did you guys play the Harry Potter version?
I did not. I
No.
love Harry Potter, but I haven't played it. I just didn't want to do another.
Right. I didn't want to do two at once, and now it's gone, so I don't even know what it was like. But yeah,
Lego Harry Potter though was freaking bomb shit though.
Oh
But
yeah.
it
That's
apparently
very
was
fun.
the same with the interactive maps, and
Hmm.
so I was curious
cool.
if you guys had any.
I really loved the Harry Potter Legos. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Was there Pokemon Lego?
I have a really close connection to Legos though, because growing up, when I got my kids, we would go to Legoland. I would have the annual passes to Legoland, and we would go there, and we would literally go there like at 9 o'clock in the morning, and right when they first opened, and it would be like we were the only people in the park, and we would walk around like we owned the park. Like we would definitely like be like, oh, okay, yeah, what do you guys want to go on next? Yeah, we're trying this new ride out over here or whatever, right? But super fun.
Hmm.
And I remember buying my son all of the little secret little dudes where they were, the plain wrapped dudes where you'd open them up and then you'd figure out what guy you got, whether it was like the Space Marine or the Aztec Warrior or whatever. But that was kind of a
dude.
neat little thing.
Okay, I have an embarrassing confession.
Uh-oh.
I would get those things sometimes too. You're talking about the minifigures, and they'd be in those packages, and you weren't supposed to know which one it was. I would feel them to feel out their accessories to figure out which one it was before buying them.
You would be there in the store, like Target or whatever, for like 15 minutes, like feeling up these.
Groping the packages.
Yeah,
I was saving money, okay? I was making a money-conscious decision, Jacqueline.
I appreciate that, but still.
That's awesome. So I got a random question. Let's talk about 1, 2, and 3. Pokemon. 1, 2, 3. Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle.
Oh yeah, the originals, the starters.
Pick
Yeah.
one.
Bulbasaur.
Why
This is tough.
Bulbasaur?
Because in the original game, so fire type, I'm gonna go with Growlithe, right? Like, so Charmander is awesome, and I like Charmander very much, but I have a fire type in my party already, and it's Growlithe.
Arcanine is also a statistically better fire type than Charizard.
He is really
Base original Charizard.
Mm-hmm.
He is really good. And as for water types, there's a lot of good water Pokemon in that game. There's Gyarados.
There's Gyarados though that you can
Starmie.
end right there. Gyarados is the man.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there's a lot of really good water types, but grass types in Gen 1 is kind of lacking. Like,
Yes.
Bulbasaur is, I think, the best one, and I think he's also super cute. I think Bulbasaur and Ivysaur are adorable. Venusaur is not as cute and is not my fave, but that's why I would keep Ivysaur around as long as possible and evolve it super late
You
in
know
the
what
game.
though? Venusaur it's a bulk monster, and that's what it's supposed to be. And
And
I
it's
hear
so
this
cool.
Venusaur hate where
It's
it's
a
like,
tank.
oh, Venusaur doesn't look. Venusaur looks great. It is a very well designed Pokemon.
It
All
is.
3 of the original starters are so well designed, and they're so very cool. And I get why there's so much like debate over which one is the coolest. This is very tough. With that being said, Bulbasaur might be my favorite, but I'd probably pick Charmander because Charizard is so badass.
Yeah. All right. What
Especially
about
the shiny.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the thing's sweet.
I would do that. I would breed to specifically get a shiny Charmander, and then I would name it Oblivion and just like burn everything.
That's a good one. What about you? Of the 3, the OG 3. What are you picking?
I'm gonna pick Mew.
No, the OG 3.
You could get that in Red and Blue. You just have to hack your game a little bit.
Nobody has to.
There's a cheap way to get it too.
You gotta pick one. You're picking Charmander because of Charizard. I already know.
What are my 3 choices again?
Bulbasaur, Charmander, and
Squirtle.
Okay, who do I think looks the coolest?
Not just overall. What is your pick?
I think Blastoise looks the coolest because he's got the, especially the one that you guys have the sunglass one.
I think I have one of them.
I have a sunglass one, and he looks so badass.
Yeah, that's cool.
He really does.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Focus.
So yours is lucky. So that means it's also statistically really good, isn't it?
That's sweet.
It's cheaper to power up. So I like how Jacqueline had this wonderful spiel about how, she used statistics and, longevity, and she picked hers with her brain. I picked mine with my heart, and I always thought that Squirtle was the cutest. So
Cute.
Squirtle. He's got the cheeks. He's got those.
It's very cute.
And he's a turtle, and I like turtles.
And she's a turtle queen. She will stop at the middle of the road to pick up a turtle out of the road.
Mm-hmm. And help him
That's
along.
good.
She's the turtle whisperer.
Oh,
It's not his fault. He's slow.
true.
I'm slow too.
Well, as Squirtle proves, you don't have to be fast because eventually you'll grow cannons and you can just blast your
Right.
competition.
See?
Blast them into oblivion.
I don't have to be fast. All right.
So does everyone know the origins of the Pokemon? Like, how did it start?
Didn't it start because the creator, when he was a kid, really loved to collect things, and he also loved to be outside and thought it would be really fun to combine those two things? I might be missing a bunch of details there, but
I mean, that's kind of the gist of it. As far I don't know the full story. I do know that he was autistic, very creative, and there's a lot of thought actually put into what they put out as far as Pokemon. what animals
Yep.
they used for reference. There's a lot that went into it, and I thought it was really cool.
That is better than the story I was going to assume. I was going to be like, it started with a boy and his dream, a dream to get lots of money.
No, money was just a side effect. He actually did it
That's
for the love.
So
Yeah.
on the flip side of the coin is, all right. So we've talked about our favorites. Now, who's your least favorite Pokemon?
Oh,
So hard. I have
Oh,
a lot
God.
of leasts.
oh my! I know mine. I know mine. It's
Go.
Mr. Mime.
That's like one of my like don't piece of beer.
What? He's so scary.
You know, though,
Adorable.
I don't like him.
Do you not like clowns? Is that
I mean, I'm not like afraid of clowns, but Mr. Mime, like, it's creepy. He's like the bad
thank
touch
you for that.
Pokemon.
Yes. When your argument cannot be said with words, just act it out.
There was one time when I was playing like Gen like 5 or 6 or something. I was going through this cave, and I encountered. You're rude. Lie down, please.
It was Gen 6 because it was one of the ones with combat animations.
Yeah, okay. But there I was in this cave and I get the shiny animation. I'm like, oh, shiny! And it was Mr. Mime.
Yes, and back then too, like the way the animation would start, it like started with its eye, and it's like ah, and
So
starts
scary.
doing the whole like walls around me thing. Look, Mr. Mime is creepy. I will give you that. But I've done a reverse 180 on Mr. Mime where I used to think that Mr. Mime was just lame. But now I think that Mr. Mime is so creepy that I actually kind of like Mr. Mime a little bit.
One of our friends in college, his absolute favorite Pokemon was Mr. Mime. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. That's a friend of ours. His favorite Pokemon is Mr. Mime.
Do we have the same friend? Because I can't think of very many people like Mr. Mime the most.
No, he definitely didn't go to college when you guys went to college.
Yeah, he's my friend, old guy.
Oh my Jesus.
He's old man like me.
So what's your least favorite? Like I could think of a couple,
Mhm.
Romer. So what is like your least?
My least favorite Pokemon of all time
Of
is,
all time. That's a very powerful statement.
I'm gonna have to say it's I don't know. I'm
Is it
drawing a blank.
unknown?
There's quite a
No,
few.
unknown suck, but
Like-
yeah, they suck.
Bidoof. He
I
hates
agree with that.
Bidoof.
I hate a lot.
No.
There's-
Pokegod?
He doesn't
Why?
like
Are you
Bidoof.
familiar with all the memes of like the real god of Pokemon is Bidoof? He sits above Arceus on the hierarchy and all that.
No, I haven't seen those.
It's all a joke because he's so silly and goofy and unusable. But like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
he's
it's a
kind of
meme.
worthless. Calvino says Zubat. Bronner hates catching Zubat.
Yeah, they're very fast.
Like you're gonna waste 27 balls trying to catch Zubat.
I think that's cute.
Zubat, and he evolves into something. His third evolution, when they introduced that, is actually like very playable. It's very
Crobat.
fast. It can hit
Mhm.
decently.
I like him. My least favorite is fucking Dunsparce.
Why?
She hates Dunsparce.
He's not cute. He doesn't really do a whole lot. He doesn't evolve. He doesn't change.
Kind of lays there.
He does evolve now, but
Does
his
he now?
evolution, yeah. Look up to Dunsparce. That's his new evolution, and it looks like the same thing. They added like
It
another
looks-
segment to his body. That's
Okay,
about
so
it.
if it looks like the same thing, then I'm gonna like it. The same.
And isn't it like only certain Dunsparce can evolve into the Dunsparce? Is there some gimmick there?
No, there's the
No?
gimmick is that there's a special Dunsparce that has another segment to
You're
its
right.
body.
You're
So
right.
there's like a
Jesus.
small chance that you're gonna get one
Seriously?
that's a little bit bigger.
That's it. Can you see that?
No.
No.
Not
Gotta
you
go.
guys.
Yeah.
It's
Zero.
yeah. I give it to you. It is underwhelming, and anytime I see it, like I'll just run from it because I'm like, it's not worth my time. It just isn't.
No, definitely not.
What else do you find yourself running from?
So my least favorite, I think, there's a lot of weird Pokemon, and so it's easy to look at like Trubbish the trash bag
I
Pokemon
love
and say
him.
that one's bad.
I think he's cute too.
Trubbish, I'm fine with. Garbodor, his evolved form, where he's just a pile of trash spilling out of a ripped open trash bag, I think is kind of stupid.
Oh yeah.
But at least it's like, I don't know. That one, it's monstrous, so I get it's going for like it's supposed to look a little horrific. It fulfills its concept, right? The one that I probably hate the most would be Vanillux, the ice cream cone Pokemon.
Oh, it's kind of cute though. The little swirly
It's ice
cone.
cream.
The soft serve?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
why-
soft
Why ice cream? Of all the things, like, I don't need my Pokemon to be food. I also think the inanimate object ones, like the key ring, is kind of stupid.
Yeah, or the vacuum.
Wait, there's a vacuum?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
I'm gonna Google this.
Oh my god.
There's like a washing machine one. It's
Is
a
this
specific
Rotom?
Yeah,
Huh?
are they Rotom forms? Because
Yes.
Rotom turns into different appliances.
that
Yeah.
one. Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's also there's a new one that's an engine.
Is there?
Really?
What the
Yeah, not a
engine?
car, an engine.
An engine. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I have a problem. Am I the only one that gets a Pokemon, evolves it to its second evolution, evolves it to its third evolution, and is highly disappointed in the third evolution?
Oh, that happens.
Oh yeah, like Dragonite.
I like
Dragonite-
Dragonite, but you're right. It's a non sequitur. Like you go from two things that are
Well-
following a logical progression.
Right. Dragonite should be Meowtic. Meowtic?
Meowtic,
Meowtic.
Fetus evolution.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that
I see
would
what you mean.
logically, in my mind, go from that to that because it's beautiful. It's snake-like. It's I like that. But yeah, Dragonite.
Like
was-
that looks more
Yeah.
like what Dratini should evolve into.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean. It's like it doesn't have arms. It still kind of looks like a serpent.
Yeah.
My
Like,
problem. My problem is that they didn't really think a lot of them through like they should have.
Yeah.
A lot of them could have been a lot more thought out. Whatever I'm trying
More
to say.
thought out.
More thought out. Yeah.
There's even so I don't know if you know this. We're going to deep dive into like Pokemon lore. There was going to be a third form of Pikachu originally, so it was Pikachu and Raichu, and there was going to be a third form named Gorochu that they ended up cutting because apparently like the data for the game was so small that they could only include a set number, and so that one got the chopping block, which is actually pretty sad because if you look up a picture of Gorochu, you can look it up online if you want. It was basically a Raichu with like horns, and it was supposed to be like this like kind of demonic looking badass Pikachu.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I would have wanted that so much. He looked kind of metal.
Because I'm not a Pikachu fan. Like I don't dislike Pikachu. I just don't get behind like the massive hype. Oh wow.
Well,
Gorochu
His
is awesome.
line is missing a final evolution for sure. Like Raichu is just kind of disappointing.
Underwhelming.
I like the low end Raichu. It's badass looking.
Yes, it's cute,
Mhm.
but still needs a final.
I mean, making him a surfer is cool. They
Mhm.
also had the option to give him a mega evolution, which they didn't do.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
being like the number one most recognizable, most popular Pokemon, they didn't do a whole lot with it except give him costumes, like in Pokemon Go. Like he wears all kinds. Like his closet is huge.
Yeah. There was also like, was it Sun and Moon? They introduced a bunch of costumes. You can dress up your Pikachu. You had like a dress up Pikachu that when you could put different things on it, it would alter its stats. Like there was a luchador outfit that it could wear.
Hmm
Yeah.
I had the luchador outfit in Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they did those as like costume special promotion for Pokemon Go.
We're all up here good. Listening intently.
We'll
Oh
just
boy,
care so
we're
much
all
about
into
this.
Pokemon. So we did favorite Pokemon. We did
Least
what,
favorite.
least
I don't think we
favorite?
heard Jacqueline's least favorite.
Yeah, it was Mr. Mime.
Oh, that's right. That's
But I
right.
also-
I blocked that from my
there's so
memory because I'm traumatized by that. I don't know how.
I'm sorry. But yeah, there's other ones that are not my faves either. Like I learned recently that Vullaby, the diaper vulture Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I don't like that one either.
Well, I learned recently that thing that I always thought was an eggshell with a little heart on it is actually a human skull upside down.
Yeah, look at it upside down, and that made me like it so much more.
Just like Pokemon lore got really
Yeah.
dark in the later generations. Like balloons that take children away, like human skull as a diaper, like skip some messed up stuff.
Okay, I mean, yeah, but it started with Cubone wearing its mother's skull. Like, come on,
That-
it started
yeah.
kind of dark.
That is a bit dope.
Good job.
Let's see.
Cubone is really cute though.
But I
too.
do-
Marowak, the Alolan version.
I love the Alolan
Marowak
Marowak. That's one of my
is
favorites.
so cool.
Beautiful.
Especially the shiny one.
So well designed.
Charlie, get your
Let me. I'm looking at the. Oh, it is.
What?
Yeah. If you just flip it upside down, it's like, oh no, what did that Vullaby do?
Look at it.
Or
It is
Lullaby, I
called.
think, because it's lullaby. Yeah.
Are you
Did you
not
see
seeing
that?
it?
If you're at home, you want to search
Look,
for put
the eye
lullaby with a
sockets
V.
and
Vullaby.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at his head for some reason. Now I'm right there with you.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Pokemon
makes
gets
sense.
dark.
There are some sneaky ass fuckers drawing these things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for real. Sneaky people.
Yeah. There are some wonderful Pokemon that have like awesome references included in their names too, or their designs. If you know Mareep, the sheep,
Mm-hmm.
clearly like a play on Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and just the idea of having an electric sheep. But then also its name Mareep is an anagram for ampere, a unit for measuring electricity. So, yeah. Two nerdy references all in one.
That was very clever of you.
Yes.
Very clever.
That was very clever of whoever designed it. Like, nicely done.
Yeah, it's way above my pay grade, that's for sure.
Sean, I don't know if I'm that creative. Sean wants to know if you could design a Pokemon, what would it look like and what would be its strength? I'm not the creative one in this couple. That would be Bronner.
Putting yourself down. Mm-mm.
She's totally creative.
Mm-mm. I'm the practical one. He's the creative. We balance.
You know what? I'll tell you what I would do. So it used to be, if you played the Pokemon games from Generation 1 onward, that like every other generation, we would get new evolutions for Eevee. And we'd get 2 of them. And then at Gen 6, they only gave us 1. They gave us Sylveon. We didn't get a second evolution. And then after that, we haven't gotten any. And there's so many different types that are still out there that we don't have Eevee evolutions for. So I would bring that trend back. I would waste my creative slot on specifically just giving us a new evolution for Eevee. And I've heard a lot of people, they want ghosts, they want dragons. I would settle for a fighting type Eevee. I think that would be super cool.
I
Kind of
can't be
like
mad
one
at
just
that.
designed. Yeah.
I would go for a fighting type Eevee. Although a poison Eevee would
That'd be cool.
would also be cool. Hey, give us both. We used to get 2 per gen, and fighting and poison have some typing where they're against each other. So bring
Yeah.
them both in.
What about you?
What about? Okay, I figured out what my least favorite Pokemon is.
Wow, we are way past.
That's okay.
I don't like any of the Reggies.
Oh,
Oh,
I get that.
yeah. That's totally valid. There are some Pokemon that are just so like similar to one another, or just so weird and obscure. I'm like, no.
yeah. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's like they were grasping at straws for a little bit there, and then
Yeah.
it's like the balance shifted. It's like they would put out 50 really good ones and give you one crappy one, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden they're putting out 50 crappy ones and one good one.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I
that's
feel
going to
that.
happen when you're, how many years into it.
Well,
I can't even think of one Pokemon to make, let alone, how many thousand.
it's hard though when you think about it because they have to constantly strive to reinvent themselves because it's a cash cow. I mean, it's a money making machine. So why would you not continue the legacy if you could? You know what I mean?
It does though. In the modern games, it feels like you made me think of this when you said cash cow. They put a lot of their effort into the newest gimmick for each game. Like, Mega Evolution was cool, and that was kind of the first one, and I liked that one a lot. But then it was Z moves, and then it was Gigantamaxing your Pokemon, and now it's like terastallizing them, and it's a lot of development time to include these mechanics. I would rather they take the time and just design more cool Pokemon and use the mechanics that already exist. Like bring back our Mega Evolutions, give us Z moves.
Mhm.
Don't worry about all this new crap, and instead just spend time designing really cool Pokemon that we're going to
Bring it back to
enjoy.
the basics. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. I'm trying to, what the heck would I make? Have you created a Pokemon in your head yet, Bronner?
Not really. I mean, the only I would base a Pokemon off superheroes.
That's cool.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I would just want a lantern or something, or a Batman, or something cool, or not even pop culture. Even just go Star Wars, go whatever genre you want to go. Since doesn't Pokemon own Star Wars now too, or whatever, or
I don't
vice
think
versa?
so.
I don't think
Does
so.
Disney own Pokemon?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
All I know is we were in a Sweet Frog today, and there was Disney music on the fucking radio.
So now he's got Disney music stuck all up in his head.
Nice. Was
All
it like
right.
the legitimate soundtrack music at least, or was it like the Kids Bop version?
No, it was soundtrack.
Yeah, it was.
It was the good stuff. It was the good stuff. So I have a question.
Yeah.
What's everybody's thoughts on Ditto?
That's cool. I know what Nick thinks of Ditto. What do you think of Ditto, Nick?
Ditto is a very useful cog in the Pokemon eugenics machine that is used to produce the superior perfect Pokemon because it can breed with pretty much anything. And because of that, what you can do is you can get to the point where you have 6 perfect stat IVs for your Ditto, and then that makes breeding so much faster. So then you just take what you want to breed it with the Ditto, and then you get a good version. So you get to skip a whole bunch of steps in this long, tedious process. So Ditto is kind of a godsend in that regard.
Yeah, he just has Ditto like bane every one of his Pokemon repeatedly, and then the offspring of
Why
it.
you gotta say it like that?
Ditto. You've just pimped out your Ditto.
Yeah.
And hey, let's be very clear. Eugenics is bad. You shouldn't do eugenics. But hey, in Pokemon, they make it a part of the end game. If you want to do competitive Pokemon, that's kind of what you have to do.
Gonna get Pokemon canceled soon.
Right? We're gonna get canceled for pimping out Ditto.
If they didn't get canceled for the dog fighting allegory, I think they're okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll be all right.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
probably
it.
pretty safe.
I think honestly, like if I had to create a Pokemon, it would be Ditto, and they already did it. So forget it. I mean, come on, it could be anybody. It could be anything. I love Ditto. It is one of my
Like
favorites.
the mimic one. Do you like is it Zorua?
Oh, Zora was cool.
Which one?
The little like fox that can look like any Pokemon, but then like you hit it and then it
Yes.
shatters the illusion. Yeah.
Absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
Which
it's
one
cool.
is that? The gecko?
No. Is it-
Zora, it's like a black fox with like a red tuft on its head, and it can appear like any other Pokemon. In
Mhm.
Pokemon Go, like
But
you'll
when
be
you
out
catch
and
it,
it'll try to copy your buddy.
yeah. The one that, like, if you see your buddy walking around, it's that one. You
Like
don't remember that?
Fennekin?
No. Fennekin's the Firefox. I do like Fennekin too.
Yeah,
Fennekin's
Fennekin's
cool.
cool. All like canine type Pokemon, I think, are cool.
Yeah.
I like them.
I can agree
This
with
one.
that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like a cuter version of Ditto.
It's
I don't know. I kind of like the blob that is Ditto.
oh, Ditto's cool. Ditto's iconic.
Yeah.
Ditto's a
Ditto's
legend.
OG. I really love me some Mr. Mime though.
No.
You know who else I like? Although I can see the creep factor is Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx. I don't know. I'm not a
Funky
big fan
looking.
of like the
Christopher.
humanoid ones.
Becca.
I like the
Ah,
I love you.
I'm
I
so
do.
tired.
But
of
all
you
I can see
talking
is your
to me.
forehead.
Don't mind.
I get what you're saying, Jacqueline, with the humanoid ones, because it's like I'm here to play with monsters and little animals, like that's what I want to do. And then all of a sudden, here's like a woman, and she's wearing like an opera dress, I guess.
At least they changed like the face after.
Yeah, there were some problematic elements in her
So-
original design.
You know what Jinx reminds me of, like, you remember those old movies when like the little kids would put on the trench coat and be like stacked too high so they look like a grown man? It looks like somebody trying to be a grown woman.
That's funny.
Yes. Yeah,
Jinx
like
is
when a little
not the
kid
Mr.
gets
Poo-Poo.
into mom's dresses and tries to put one on.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I see what you're
it's like a
saying.
dress up. It's cute. I don't know. I can see the creep factor though. I still like her. So
I'm good with Jinx. You know what? Oh, I want to go back. My least favorite Pokemon, going way back,
you
is
and
any
Bron
of
are
the
both.
any of the baby Pokemon. Any of them. They were
Suicune? You don't
completely
like
useless.
Suicune?
It was such a waste. Baby Pokemon,
Okay,
except maybe Munchlax.
Munchlax is cute.
Munchlax is adorable. And I have a hundo.
Ooh.
You evolved it, right? You got to
Yeah.
evolve it.
It's too cute to evolve.
The Snorlax is so good.
Okay, so the problem that I have with evolving it is that I have a Snorlax that's better for the PvP battles than a hundo would be.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh
there's
yeah, that's a fun thing. So for
Yeah.
those of you that don't play Pokemon Go, for PvP, you don't necessarily want to have perfect Pokemon. In fact, you want their attack stats to be surprisingly low and their defense stats to be higher.
Yes.
It's very weird.
There's a whole complex system to this. Attack rates higher, so your CP it gets jacked up. But I have a much better Snorlax for battling. So I have my cute little Munchlax.
But that's so cool.
We need to have like a Pokemon party and all dress up.
I'm getting a Snorlax onesie. I promise this, and I will wear it in my coffin.
And you've got this all planned out.
Are you going to be a vampire Snorlax?
Yeah, I'm be a vampire Snorlax.
That'd be kind of an interesting little. It's almost what Munchlax reminds me of.
His little teeth.
I think it would
Yeah.
be like the shadow form version.
Purple friends.
With his like pointy ears and his sharp teeth. He is kind of
I can see
vampire
that.
Snorlax.
I think he kind of looks like Batman.
I think he looks like my neighbor Totoro.
Yeah, Totoro.
He's got like big time Totoro vibes.
Well,
I do. So if we did dress up as Pokemon, I do have a Bulbasaur costume, and it's like full mascot costume with like the head and everything. I can send pictures later.
I'll have to
Yes,
find
It's
one,
fun.
yeah.
we definitely need to see these. So, any final Pokemon going away words? Last final thoughts on Pokemon.
Love Pokemon.
Yeah. They say you've got to catch them all, but really you don't need to do that. You can just catch the ones that you like. That's cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I never catch another Bidoof, I'd be fine. I have a shiny. That's fine.
Nice. Do you have any Shundos?
Oh, you know what? I don't think I do. Let me check.
I do.
Yeah, I know you do.
I do too.
He rubs it in my face all the time.
I have a Shundo. For those of you at home who don't know what a Shundo is, it says shiny Hundo. Hundo means it has perfect stats, and then shiny.
Shiny.
Um,
Yeah. A
I
perfect
have
shiny. And I don't have any.
OG.
But that's
You
fine.
know?
I've got Shundo Gyarados, and I've got a Shundo Zekrom.
All right. So since we're talking about it, let's end on a good note. What is your favorite shiny?
I think Charizard looks very cool, and I like when the shiny changes up the
Dramatically.
coloring. Yeah, because when it's really subtle, I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's nice. But
It was
like
such
you
a
said
thing.
before, Marowak is like the Alolan one. That's just so cool.
It's
Yes.
sick. Really
Yeah.
sick.
That is my favorite shiny.
Is it Charizard or
The
Marowak?
Marowak.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. With the flame in its face.
I like
He's
Gyarados
purple.
because I'm a lot like you. I like the ones that are extremes,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gyarados is
Where
another
the-
good one.
where the color is just so like, wow. I actually feel like you're getting something saucy.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Plus,
can't be
Gyarados
cool.
is like the first shiny really to be unveiled, and it's the first one you encounter in the game. So it's like that's so cool. Red Gyarados, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
Um,
cool lore.
I guess my favorite would be shiny Charizard, just because it looks so cool. But I also have to give it up if you've ever looked at the shiny for Haxorus.
Hmm.
Looks very cool. It's
Very
normally this
cool.
like gold standing dragon thing, dinosaur thing with axes coming out of its mouth. The shiny is like straight up black instead of gold. Very
Well,
neat design.
I will say the one I'm on the hunt for, which I have not caught yet, is the shiny Ponyta.
I do like shiny Ponyta. My first
Yes.
ever time I ran a D&D one shot as a DM, it was centered around the players trying to find a shiny Ponyta. Charlie, come here, bud.
Oh my god, that's awesome. You just mixed D&D and Pokemon.
I don't like the Galarian Ponyta though. That's just too cotton candy for me.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't like My Little Ponyta?
Not my
I
favorite.
mean, that's what they were doing.
Yeah, essentially that's what they did.
I don't doubt that that's what they were doing, but I don't really care for it. It's not my friend.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for
All right.
tuning in.
I appreciate you guys.
So, in case you didn't know, our very own Don Darrow is doing another charity stream on the 18th.
Mhm.
Correct me? Yes, 18th. So make sure you tune into that, spread the word, make sure we let all of our friends know and our friends' friends know. We are all about the charities. So tune into that, or do me one better, hit us up and find out how you can participate.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's always fun. But we really do appreciate, and we have missed everybody. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Nick and Jacqueline, for always being just fantastic, amazing people.
You too.
Happy to be
We
here. Likewise.
absolutely love having you guys part of the CCTV family. So, are we rating into anybody today? Okay, so it looks like no idea what they're playing, but we'll be sliding into Jay's DMs. I mean, Jay's Twitch. So So sit tight. It can happen. And we'll be back next week. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.